gonna make paper mache. It's a fun activity I did with my family. We found it really exciting to do. So we're gonna do learning the mixture today of making the paper mache, a very simple mixture. All you'll need is flour, cold water, salt, and then we're gonna make today a pinata and also a volcano that can erupt. So for that, you'll need a piece of paper. We used cardstock that's thicker if you have it, or else you could use two pieces together. We used a bathroom cup. You want to have something small that you're going to be able to put the mixture in to make it erupt. You'll probably need some tape and scissors and a stapler. Also a mixing bowl for your mixture, a spoon. And for your pinata, base is going to be a balloon, so if you want to blow up a balloon. And we like to have an extra bowl to have it sit in, so that way when you're doing your paper mache, it doesn't go and make a mess everywhere all over your table. So first thing you're going to do is use some newspaper also. Cut it into strips. And this I did a little bit of prep work already, but basically you're just going to cut strips like this. I made a whole bunch already that I have on the side, so those are there. Now if you're going to want to paint your project, I like to use something like computer paper also. And what you do is you take it, same thing, cut it into strips. And when you do paper mache, you usually put about 3 layers of the mache on it. And so I like to use the last layer, or sometimes you can even add a 4th if you want to make it super strong, as white paper. So that way if you're going to paint it, it's a nice white base. Alright, so I have all my strips on the side. I'm going to go ahead and make my mixture here. So it's 1 cup of flour to 1 cup of cold water. So I had it all measured out here. And if you have to make more, you could just do the same mixture again if you run out. And then they suggest add a little bit of salt. And that's just to help so like you don't get mold. Once it's in, you're going to mix your mixture so it's nice and smooth. You want to try to get as many of the lumps as you can. And this is a no-cook mixture, so it's very simple. That's all the ingredients you'll need. You almost want it to be a pancake batter thickness. And if you feel like it got too thick or too thin, you can just add a touch more flour or water. It's not like a perfect solution here. You just need to get a nice mixture. Now I'm going to let this sit for a second here. And I'm going to make the base of my volcano. So with my cardstock, what I like to do is it's a little too big for my volcano. I like to cut a strip off the bottom. And then you're going to turn it like this to make an opening. So you're going to erupt your volcano. So you're going to want a nice opening. And we're going to sit our cup inside so that sits up there, and that way you can erupt it later on. So what I like to do, it's too pointy at the end. I like to kind of round it out until it'll sit nice on the table. So cut off those points that happen when you round it. And then you are going to just staple it with a nice opening on it. If you don't have a stapler, it's fine. You could use tape or something. If you don't have a cardstock, even cardstock as you build on it will get a little wet and droopy, but a volcano doesn't have to really be perfect. I'm going to cut a little more off because I don't like the way it's sitting. Now it sits nice. After you have that, what you're going to do is take your cup and you're going to want to put it inside into it so the opening is in there and you'll be able to put your material in there. And what I do is I just hold it up into the spot and use tape to secure it in place. I'm going to actually take a few pieces of tape off. Just straighten my tape. Okay, so I'm going to hold it in place there and add my tape. And later I'll show you how we erupt it. And I'll also show you at the end our pinata that we made. Just add one more piece of tape to secure it, because you have to remember at the end we're going to be putting our mixture in here to explode our volcano, and it's going to want to support that. So it's not a real lot of stuff that has to go into it, but you want to make sure it's strong. Alright, so that's that. And you can even cut off, like it's a little taller than my cup here. I'm going to just cut the top off a little bit. Straighten it up. Okay, so that I'm going to put over to the side. And I'm going to start with my balloon, which will be our pinata. So when you do your balloon, you're going to want to leave a spot on the top that's going to be open. And that'll be where you put in your candy or little prizes, whatever you want to put in to make it exciting. This will be the bottom. So you just kind of work on one end, and then you're going to work on the other end and flip it, and you let it sit in your bowl to dry. So when you do this, you have your mixture, which is here. You're going to take your pieces of paper, dip it in. You want to get both sides nice and wet, and then you're going to almost squeegee it down. So you don't want it dripping. You want it just nice and wet. Now for the top, you just start laying it. And you want to, it's fine to put them all different ways and directions. There's no real set way to have to do this. You just want to have it, you know, nice and damp and covered all different ways. And now you'll see how you see all the pieces of the ads. And that's why if you want to do that extra step and actually go and paint it, you want to put that white paper at the end. But it's not a necessary step. You don't have to. A lot of people just leave their paper mache just the way it is. And it's cool enough. Now, so I'm going to carefully go over the top here. So you go around it, and if you have to, you can always cut your piece of newspaper and go around it so you make a nice little spot there. Think about what you're going to put inside and how big you need to make it. I'm going to take another small piece. And again, we're going to reinforce this, so I'm going to go ahead and cover all of my whole side. Then when I'm done, I'm going to just stick it upside down and flip it with the top down and continue on the bottom. And then I'm going to repeat that a couple times so that way I get a nice 3 layers across my whole balloon. So eventually I'll be like this, and then I'll start working on this side. I don't want to make you watch me do the whole entire balloon because it's going to probably take me a good 20 minutes. So I'm going to just set this to the side and I'll finish it later and show you my finished product. And I'm going to show you now my volcano. So this is my volcano. Same thing as that. Is you're going to take a strip of paper and wrap it around. Again, not dripping. You are working on paper, so you have to be a little more fragile. The balloon was very sturdy. And of course with kids it can get a little messy, so if it's a nice day and you could do this outside, that's a great opportunity. Or if you need an activity for a rainy day, it's fine to do it inside also. I just stuck a tablecloth on my dining room table and I'm doing it here so that way if it drips, it's neat. But if you think it's almost like baking because it's just flour and water and salt. So I'm going to continue to go around it a couple times, and I actually am going to put some paper on it that's white at the end, because I want to paint it maybe brown or gray, so that way it looks like a volcano for when we erupt it. All right, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to let this set, and then I will show you in a little bit after I finish doing it what my finished product looks like, and then we'll show you from there how to erupt it. Okay, now I finished with my 3 layers of newspaper. And then I ended up using my white paper on the outside because I want to see if we could paint it afterwards. But this is my balloon pinata. So it's nice and strong, you'll see. It's kind of fun, it feels kind of cool. So, you know, I have a few little spots that you can see through, but that's not the end of the world. So what I'm going to do is let it sit in my bowl, and I'm going to let it dry. It's probably going to take about 24 hours to dry. What I'll do is I'll let it sit like this a few hours. I'll flip it so the other side gets some air. And then after that is done, we could paint it, and then you actually pop the balloon, and that's where you can put your goodies in it. So this is our volcano. It's not the prettiest thing, and it's fine, it's a volcano. We kind of ran out of some white paper, so I used some old coloring sheets we had, and so you see some lines ingredients, but it's not that bad. So I'm also going to let this sit and dry. And again, then we'll probably paint it, and then I'll show you later how we're going to erupt it in a bin. So that way it's not too messy of an activity, and I'll show you those ingredients you need to add to that. So I'm going to let them dry overnight, and then I will finish up in the morning and show you the rest. Okay, we are back. We have painted our volcano, and we have painted our pinata, and we have candy. So we wanted to show you how to erupt the volcano first. So the first thing you need is a few ingredients, which I have posted. You're going to need baking soda, about 4 to 6 tablespoons, vinegar, about a cup, Dawn dish soap or any other kind of dish soap you have, and that is a teaspoon. And then you're going to need some water, about enough to fill 2/3 of your cup. So I would say anywhere from like 1/3 of a cup to 1/2 of a cup, depending on how big your cup was. And something to dye your volcano eruption. We wanted to do it red, so I have red food coloring. If you're doing it somewhere that could get more messy and you need to clean it, you could use washable paints. You'll see we have a Rubbermaid bin we're going to do it in, so that way it stays a little neater for us. And my kids are going to help us put in the ingredients because they were excited about doing this. So our kids are here and excited to do the experiment. So first thing you're going to start with is your water. So here, Lydia. Now you're going to pour it into the cup that's in the volcano. And again, it's about 2/3 full. Yeah. Aileen, you hold that. Okay, so next we are going to do our dish soap. So our dish soap is going to also go right into the cup. Would you mind helping me with that?
Yep.
All right.
No, not drop it.
Now put it carefully as much as you can all into that volcano. Good job.
Come on.
I'll take that from you. Now, after that, we're going to have to do baking soda. So everybody's going to do 1 scoop. So, Lainey, you want to do the first one? Okay. Here it is. Now, I'm going to give you a cup, and you're going to do a scoop. Now, here you go. And you're going to put it into the volcano. Good job. Now, Lydia, you want to do a scoop? You're going to do 1 tablespoon. Yep, the big one.
It's good?
Yep, and this is going to help it make it bubbly with the dish soap. So they say 4 to 6.
Abby, your turn. Then mine. Make sure it's spread out evenly. I don't care. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, the big one. That's Valerie.
Yeah, let's move it closer to you.
Oh, make sure it's spread out good. Mom, this is good?
Yep. You could do 2. Put that and do 1 more just because some fell out, so we have extra in there.
An extra bubbly. No one likes like this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it less fun. It's
Put it in as
boring.
much as that. All right. Now let's move it by Abigail. She didn't get a chance. She's going to do some drops of food coloring. So you have to unscrew that off the top. Pull it off. And I would say you want it nice and colored. So I would say a good 7 or 8.
I don't care.
That looks good, right?
Yeah, okay. Extra.
That looks bloody red.
Oh,
okay. So we have all of our ingredients. And do you guys remember what makes the volcano erupt? What ingredient? Vinegar. So you're going to do 1 cup of vinegar. Hold on, Lainey. We're going to give this to Abby so that way, because she's closest to it. So when you pour it, don't pour it yet. When you pour it, you're going to pour it nice and slow, and we're going to watch the eruption, okay? Everybody watch it. Here it goes. Woo!
Oh my gosh, that is so cool! And it's going around the whole body.
Do you want to add a little bit more and see?
Yeah!
Here, unscrew that top for me.
I got
I bet we can make it go a little more, because whoa.
Are we allowed to touch it?
Yeah, get your fingers a little bit.
this.
It's like foam.
Oh, it is!
Did you get it off? Let's pour a tiny bit more to see if it goes a little more. Ready, Lainey? Help me.
This is so cool.
Because we put so much baking soda in there, it keeps erupting if you add more.
This is so cool. Look how pink it is and stuff. It's
All right.
cool.
Now take your hands out. Go wash them off, Abigail. Now, Dory, can you bring over our pinata?
Okay.
That's our pinata. So we ended up just coloring nice striped colors on our pinata. Our balloon's still on there. And knock on it, Dory. Show how hard it is. It's pretty hard. So we're going to pop our balloon. Now cut the top of the balloon. There we go. Then it's going to empty fast. Good. So we had, show the candy we have.
We have Kit Kat.
We
We
have
have Easter chocolates.
So we had extra Easter chocolate. So we're all going to take turns in putting in the candy at the top. You want to put one? Here, let Lainey do one too. Here, Lainey, add some candy inside the hole. Put in the hole.
Put some eggs in. Little Hershey eggs. Make sure they're small enough to fit in your hole.
Yeah, so you have to look for small candy. Kisses.
Wait,
Let's give them a turn and Dory a turn. Put some candy in there. So now what we're going to do is after we fill it, we're going to go outside and we're going to hang it from a tree. My plan is to use a little hammer and nail or a drill you could even use, and to put a little hole on each side so you could able to hang it with string. And then you could hang it up outside, and we're going to use a baseball bat, just like a regular pinata, old-fashioned pinata, to break it. And it'll be a fun activity for us, and it's this nice sunny day for us to go outside.
Wait, what about me?
All right, we hope you enjoy our projects. Have fun doing them and post your pictures for us.
Ouch.